Hi friends, and welcome again to my channel. In this tutorial, this tutorial is again for beginners. If you want to learn how to make this super easy knitted cowl, then keep watching. I'm using for this cowl 8mm needle, circular needles. I think the wire is 80 centimeters. And we will work with 2 strands of yarn together. So I'm using both color gray, light gray and black, but you can use any color you want. This project is wonderful if you need a stash buster or something to use leftover yarn that you have, because you will need for it just half of each skein. So this cowl has approximately 70 centimeters, and we will start to cast on 80 stitches. Okay, so I'm doing long tail cast on. I'm using this method because I like more the edge of this type of cast on than other methods. But if you are more used, or if you want to learn otherwise, then you can cast on wherever you feel, whatever method you want and you feel comfortable with. Now this is a trick because we will work circular, so we have to join the ends. First, make sure that everything is not twisted, all the stitches are not twisted, and then just grab a stitch from the so I taking the stitch from my just slip stitch, okay, from my left needle, put it to right, and then the second stitch pull it over the needle, yeah, to make this join, the slip stitch join, which help you to connect the both ends of our foundation, and then to be easier to just work circular. So this is how we are joining the ends. And then for the first round, we just start to knit each stitch. After making the join, is good to put a stitch marker, because this will help you to know where your round starts. But with this project, is not that very important, because you can just work until you have your desired height of the cowl, and then just stop and fasten off. So it's not that important, but use it if you are a beginner, a newbie to knitting. It's better to use a stitch marker. Look, I put it here after finishing the first row, because this will help you to keep a track of your rounds. Now on the next round, because we are making at the beginning and at the end of the cowl some garter stitch. So to have this look when you are working circular, the second round you will have to purl each stitch. If you are not working circular, then you can, to get that garter stitch, you have to knit on the wrong side and on the right side. But now, because we are working only on the right side, then we have to switch the. So we did first round knit stitch, and second round has to be purl stitch, just to get that garter stitch look. And we will repeat this round, so one round knit, one round garter purl stitch for 6 rounds. Look, these are the first 6 rounds, and now with the next round we will just start to knit knit every stitch until you'll get to the desired height of the cowl. At the end we will finish with the same six rounds in garter stitch, so one knit, one purl. But for now we just have to knit each stitch for as many rows as you want, or to have the same height as my cowl. I just made 40 rounds knitting, just knitting. It's important to measure and to make a swatch at the beginning to know whether because if you, with this kind of cowl, it's important not to have it too wide, because otherwise it won't stay on your neck, and this has to be there because it has to keep you warm. But so make a swatch just to know how many stitches you need for the width of the cowl. This cowl has approximately 70 centimeters around, so make your swatch and then you'll see how many stitches you'll have to cast on. Maybe it's different than mine, that's why I'm telling you this. If you want to have a cowl larger or wider or smaller, narrower, then you'll have to make a swatch to know exactly how many stitches, with how many stitches do you have to start with. Now I'm continuing to just knit until I will have in total 40 rounds just in knit, not counting the garter stitch rounds at the beginning. And then after finishing the 40 rounds, I will continue with the next, this band here in garter stitch. So I will do 6 more rounds, alternating 1 round in knit and 1 round with purl stitches. Now I'm doing purl stitches. I'm knitting in continental style because I'm a crocheter, so it's easier for me to hold my yarn in my left hand and not in the right. So if you are a crocheter and if you want to start learning to knit or to exercise and be better in your knitting, then this continental style is better for you, because you'll get more used to it and you'll find your tension more faster than using the other method, and also it will be easier for your waist. Now after finishing 6 rounds, I'll show you how I fasten off. I'm using 1 crochet hook for that because I'm a crocheter and I try to make things easier for me, and it's actually an easier method. But yeah, you have to know how to use the crochet hook, but I think this is not that difficult. So we are using the crochet hook as a second needle. So instead of using the right needle, we are using a crochet hook. Okay, so I purled 1 stitch because it was a purled round, and now purl the second and 1 loop through the other. Always keep on your hook just 1 loop, okay? And the second one, purl and pull the yarn through the second loop. Pull that loop on the second loop on your hook. And this is how we will finish our work. We will just have to continue like this with all stitches until we won't have any stitches left. So here I still have a few more stitches to go. And now the last one, just make a slip stitch with the first stitch here, just to join a bit the ends, and that was it. Now all you have to do next is to weave in these two ends that you have here, and the cowl is done. If you want a higher one, and or maybe if you want an infinity scarf, you can use the same pattern, the same method, only that you'll have to cast on more stitches. Maybe for an infinity scarf, it's better to double the number of stitches. So instead of 80, maybe try with 160 or even more. It's important to be easier for you as a beginner to use circular needles, and the wire of the needles to be approximate on the same length as the cowl will be. So here for this, because it has 70 centimeters, I use 80 centimeters wire for my needles. It's important because it will be easier, because working with a magic loop, it will be more difficult to you as a beginner, but maybe we will do a tutorial for this one, this method too, and we will learn some more stuff together. So now I just wave in the end. I'm still having one more at the on the other side, and after this everything is done, and you can wear it, and you can give it to make a gift for someone that you loved. And I think it's a great project if you have some leftover yarn, or if you are a beginner and you want to try more knitting. This is super fast. We are working with big needles, so don't worry about your knitting speed, because this project is very encouraging. Also, because we are using two contrasting color, your stitches will look perfect. You won't be sad because your knit is not looking that neat as other project that you saw there on I don't know, social media. So I think it's a good project to start with, so let's try. I encourage you to try and exercise knitting as well, because it's beautiful. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget, you can grab the pattern for this cowl on my blog. It's for free. You can download the PDF for free, and see you next time.